Staying with the Triennale's Expo 2015 theme of arts and foods, the Triennale's own major show of the year, organized by the celebrated art historian and curator Germano Celand, was on an inextricably related subject: kitchens. Called Kitchens and Invaders in the official translation of the Italian title, another possible name might have been Kitchens and Aliens. Whatever the translated title, it was a brilliant exhibition, and I hope these excerpts convey a sense of the fun I had when touring the show. It was divided into 11 elements or themes, and, a far cry from most museums, the exhibition was not in the least quiet. Then again, kitchens seldom are. I strongly suggest that you pause on the English texts introducing each section. They contain information which is fascinating and amusing, surprising, or startling. We started off with a satellite kitchen, one of those sci-fi envisionings of the future from 1969, which turned out to be hilariously and mercifully off the mark. My guess would be that these would-be visionaries didn't cook. The sentinels standing behind the yellow satellite were the army of Electrolux fridges referred to in the text. That din you hear in the background emanated from the alarms of the next section. One entered it through a kind of passageway, which was alarming in its own right, in contrast to the battery of playful kitchen timers in the display windows. After switches, sockets, and fuse boxes, one exited via another tunnel whose curious wall paneling, flashing lights, and further whirring alarm sounds made me very relieved to emerge into the next section. I noticed the attendants tried to stay as far away from the noise sources as they could. Section 2 was all about ice. It had the largest array of refrigerators I've ever seen in one space. You might note that every last one was made by an Italian firm, which could explain why you've never found any of these fridges at your local appliance store. I don't know whether any of these are still in production, and I assume certain models were custom-made for clients with unusual tastes in home chilling. The obvious follow-up to ice was fire. My kitchen doesn't have enough room for the more elaborate cooktops displayed here, but I thoroughly enjoyed the vast assortment, and almost all looked fabulously functional. It was a good thing I was still full from lunch, as otherwise the association with food preparation would have sparked my appetite. Earth focused on recycling and, mostly, composting. A few of these machines might actually find space in a house, perhaps the garage, although not in my flat, or most flats in any city. Perhaps there'd be room in the basement of an apartment building, assuming there were enough like-minded residents to invest in and operate them. On to air, or, more accurately, the ventilation thereof. I loved Gaetano Pesce's hood, which one came to at the far end of a monstrously sized fan and a long tangled mass of cables. It certainly wouldn't fit in my kitchen, but I think it would make a gorgeous installation in the front hallway, right by the entrance to the flat. There will be a further important contribution from Gaetano Pesce at the end of the exhibit. Stay with us. Theme number 6, sound, was devoted to all those wonderful devices no kitchen can do without. As far as I could ascertain, none of the blenders, mixers, or coffee grinders were turned on. You can imagine what an unholy racket they would have generated if they had been. Up next was environment. There's no text here. It was so dark that I think I wasn't able to find it. This was obviously referencing commercial kitchens. At least, I hope the kitchen in your home doesn't look like this. Cut and Mix, Section 8, could also have been titled Blades. No kitchen without blades, whether manually or electrically operated. Some of these were especially dramatic about reminding one to pay attention to one's fingers when using such machines so they don't end up in the minced meat. Aroma. As the first noun most Italians probably associate with aroma is coffee, it would be unthinkable for any kitchen-based exhibit in Italy not to pay obeisance to coffee. No cappuccino cups here, much less mugs. And the bookcase's coffee machines from nearly 100 years of manufacturing were all Italian as far as I could determine. No heretical German filter drips or French presses, it goes without saying. The mini kitchen afterwards was another amusing instance of what cooking spaces have not become in the last 50 years.
In der vollautomatisierten Küchenzelle sind sämtliche Küchengeräte von einem Schaltpult aus bedient.
Robots and insides of spaceships? Not for me, thank you. Far more enticing and an infinitely more realistic dream of kitchens of the future was unveiled in the final section, Gaetano Pesce's The Kitchen, Place of Passion. Take the time to pause and read the text. This was a live installation, peopled by these two, standing on a glass ceiling above the visitors. They interacted not only with each other, but via headset mics with the visitors, most of whom did not offer any conversation in return. I did. I thought they might need a drink or a snack, so I asked them whether I might get them something from the bar. The girl was very specific. She ordered caviale, caviar, and 2 glasses of champagne. I played along and said I would see about the caviar.
Aspetta un attimo, vado al bar e chiedo se hanno il caviale al bar. Caviale, sì, aspetta un attimo. Intanto faccio I miei scatti.
In the meantime, I stepped into the final corridor and read the copious original histories of every single kitchen device displayed in the exhibit, information which I did not film. When I returned, ostensibly from the bar, the upstairs space seemed to be deserted. Where could they be? Ah! A door, revealed by a telltale female hand sticking out. I said that the bar had informed me that they were out of caviar, but that more would be arriving at 6, along with champagne.
Al bar mi hanno detto che non c'è più il caviale, però arriva alle 6, con una coppa di champagne. Va bene?
No response. Then the door opened. She must have been expecting a different waiter. No caviar or champagne for me. Sitting outside in Cafe Rossini on Via Pagano, I had an Aperol Spritz. And as dinner was more than 2 hours away, I needed not just the inevitable olives and potato chips, but the bread with mortadella and mandolined lemon slices to tide me over. I knew dinner at Chic and Quick was something I could really look forward to. The full menu will be in my next video.